to our Eclipse A2 background. So let's take a look at this. We have 3 at the moment. We've got a square, which I'm going to show you how to do a quick card using that. We have a circle and we have an elongated offset one. So we have videos on the other 2, so you're welcome to go take a look at that. So for right now, we're just going to review the square one. So in Eclipse, you've got different slats that cut out a design, and this is a 2-part type of card. You do need a bottom that is going to be identical to your top. And your top, after you cut it out, is going to lay directly on top of it, elevated with foam, as thick as you want, but we use 2mm strips, which we have. And then it's going to be glued down, adhered down on there. And then your bottom image and your top image are going to match up and give that elevated look right there. And of course, if you are a stamper, you can use that as well. You stamp your image on the bottom, and then you do your exact image on the top, cut it out, or other way around, stamp after you cut it out. So how I work with our Eclipse background is I cut out the top piece first, because that's where I want my design to be. And then your bottom's got to match exactly. So we do have a bottom piece as well. It's just a simple cut line if you don't want to measure and use your trimmer. So this, you just have to make sure everybody lines up. So I lined this particular piece up like that, cut it out. I saved my piece, did a little marking onto the next piece on where to put the background die to run that through the machine. So it cut out and layers up exactly. So this is going to be my background piece. Also, our A2 backgrounds are 1/4 of an inch, leave 1/4 of an inch rim. So this becomes your piece already. So there is no additional piece you have to lay down. So it already becomes your background piece. A2 cards are 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So our backgrounds are 4 by 5 1/4. So it lays down exactly with no measuring. We like that. So just a couple of examples. When I was testing it, I was just a little bit off, and this is a very busy pattern. So I was playing with what types of papers can work with that. And then my Paris one turned out really well. So just put a little bit of glitz onto the side and glued one of our dies up the middle. So the wording, if you're doing wording, it really has to lay out if you want that to not be shifted. Pictures, a little bit can be elongated, but even my 25 was just a tad off. So lining it up is always a fun little challenge. Okay, so this guy got cut out, and then I adhered my foam. We have white 2-inch thick foam all cut into the appropriate strips. You get quite a few cards you can make out of that. Now that is a lot of foam coverage right there. I do a little bit of piecemeal because I don't want to waste any of my foam. So I could still put a little piece right there, but every channel does need to have its foam. And then I am going to show you a foam piece right here, because when I put it down, I pull it taut, which then you can see that the piece bows just a bit. But as soon as you line it up and squish it flat, it does flatten out. That's just the physics of it. So I'm going to speed up this video so you can see me pull that, and then I'll stop the video and peel all these off, and then we'll come back so we can apply it. I've got all of my foam strips peeled, and then you can see I was just trying not to waste any of them right there. And then we did have our foam made to fit our Eclipse cards. So when I was designing this, originally I had these a little bit thicker, but it looked like somebody was in jail. I didn't like that. So this was about the thinnest I could go to match up with the foam and not have a problem have anybody cut their own foam, which that was even a bigger issue. So our foam is in strips as thin as they can possibly go. And now what we're going to do is just line this guy up. And I'm going to have to go on my tippy toes to make sure the camera doesn't wiggle. But I start from the top, but you really want to match up what's going on in there. And remember, as soon as you put your foam down, it's adhered. So make sure you've got your line up just perfect how you want it. And then, because picking it back up, it's not going to work so hot. I've already tried that and it pulls your paper. So there you go. Gumdrops are all lined up. And then, of course, you can do your inking. I've got one where I tried to ink inside of here also. So that came out kind of interesting. But, of course, you can ink wherever you'd like to. This is going to go onto our card base right there. And I'm going to put a sentiment right there. And your Eclipse card making wise, not a stamper wise, is just about done. And we'll put our sentiment, and it's ready to go into the mail. Fits into your envelope just fine. So you guys enjoy.